Good morning, everyone. Happy December. Happy Monday. Super excited to be here with all of you as always. We are just doing some quick shout outs and so excited about everything that is happening with how we are sharing health, hope, and happiness. And that kind of rolls off my tongue always. And I really want you guys to take a second. If you listened to the corporate launch call for December, one of the things that Christina was so good about conveying was that when we share, we are sharing something that is truly offering those three things. And when we think about health, okay, I promise you, there's not a person on the planet that doesn't need what we have, something that we have for health. For the hope part, you guys, some people sit down at their computers and search for how can I fix this? How can I do, XYZ, fill in the blank. They're already searching for solutions to problems that they have, and we have options and solutions. We have so many testimonies that would say, if somebody read this, this would give me hope that I'm finally finding an answer for fill in the blanks, a health concern, a financial concern, whatever. And then happiness, just the opportunity to be a part of a community of energetic, positive, wonderful people who are, committed to personal growth and all of the things. Those three things, health, hope, and happiness. That's me saying that I need to be on here with you guys. It really is amazing. But the other thing that Christina said was, let's not be blessing blockers. And how would we be blessing blockers? We would keep our mouths shut. We would not be sharing about what we have found for whatever reason. So I want you to think about, have you kept yourself in a box? Have you kept yourself quiet? Have you decided not to post or share because somebody at Thanksgiving, called you the crazy Plexus lady or whatever the case might be? I really, really, really want you to think about that, because there's somebody out there searching right now for what we have, and we might not be doing our part to let people know what we have. And so that's the first thing I would really love for us to evaluate, just like a little 30-second. If somebody had an issue, would they know that if they came to talk to us, would it be like, okay, Sarah, I finally need to talk to you because my gut's a mess, or I am tired of being sick all the time. Oh, okay, Sarah, you keep talking about the fact that, you're, buying Christmas and not putting it on credit cards. Whatever the case might be, do you have enough evidence and proof that you share health, hope, and happiness, whether it's running errands with a Plexus sweatshirt, or you're, definitely making those posts, or when somebody in your life expresses a concern, are you actively listening and offering some permission to say, listen, I hate that you're struggling with this. I used to struggle with that too. Would you be open to me sharing like what I found that's helping me, and just open those doors. Sometimes I've had this in my brain for years. Sometimes we stand in a doorway. I want you guys to picture yourself in an open, so I've got an open doorway. Picture yourself standing right here on the wood floor side of an open door. Sometimes we're standing here at an open door and we have to actually cross through. Like, there's a big step that has to be taken into that opportunity. So how many of us are standing right there and it's a question or a message or one phone call that would be us taking that big step into our next business builder, our next friend that we can help, whatever the case might be. A lot of times we're standing right there on that threshold of that opportunity of the next thing that's going to happen, that next door that's going to open for our business or whatever the case might be. But it's going to require us taking that action. Sometimes it's the scariest step you'll take, taking that action into that open door of, here, this is what we have. So I want you guys to really be thinking about that. One thing that Christina said, and I was rearranging, I was a horrible multitasker this morning. So if you called me out on me posting the wrong things in the wrong places, I love you for it. And you all have permission to say, Sarah, you need to get your life together and go edit what you just posted. But the link from corporate, it was on the ambassador page. That link is something that you need to go back and watch because it was just so good. And Christina said, if you show up in December with two things, you will be successful. And that's energy and intensity. And as I was watching people close the end of the month, I could see in people's posts and stories, energy was increasing, intensity was increasing. You could feel the excitement. And it was one of those things like I was cheering for people that aren't even on my team because I was so excited for them with the excitement and the energy that they were sharing, whether it's countdowns or just general excitement for people that they've invited into this opportunity. So I want you to ask yourself, how am I showing up for December? Because the energy and intensity that you show up with today, tomorrow, this month, will be what your team follows, will be what attracts new people to come to you. And that's one of those things we talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about our belief meters. If you're not like, let's go, let's talk about everything that I have that I know can help you, what are the things that you can be doing that can raise your belief? Because when your belief is 8, 9, 10, 11, you can't help but be excited. You can't help but portray an energetic, sharing with everything that you're doing. So I want you to be thinking about what is your energy and what is your intensity level, and how are you bringing that to the table? There are so many things that you can do, even to just work on, okay, how can I show up better? Listening to music, making sure that you're checking off your list of, I already had my quiet time. I already went for my walk. I'm showing up feeling energized. What energizes you? That might be a great list for you to sit down and say, what energizes you? And do you need to do that before you sit down and message people, before you get in your stories? I will be honest with you. I have not felt very energized, and you probably have seen I've been kind of absent in my stories. And that was one of those things yesterday. I was like, oh gosh, I haven't actually talked and shown my face in my stories probably in 2 weeks. Now I've been keeping up with showing pictures and stuff like that, but figuring out where this energy and intensity can come from and plugging into that. If somebody were to sit down today on Cyber Monday and say, I need health, hope, and happiness, would they say, I'm calling Christina? Mary Jo's my girl. Would they know? Are you letting people know what you have? I will let you guys know. I have a makeup lady. I have all these other companies that I love ordering from. And I just happened to see a post about a 50% off sale and about a free shipping sale. And I'm like, huh, that would have been great if somebody actually messaged me, I could always use a new color lipstick, or you know what I mean? So don't assume that people know what we have or how it helps them. So I want you guys to really think about, for today specifically, today only is the $1 shipping. So it might be that you've got people who are current customers who are like, well, I haven't done a reset, but I would love to do a reset. Today is a great day for them to jump in their back office and order a reset with the free shipping, right? For some places, I want to say, shipping is as high as $8.99. So they're getting a discount if they take advantage of the Cyber Monday deals. So we've got free reset. We've got $1 shipping for today only, and then $1 VIP membership, which is another $10 off. So I want you guys to really be intentional with, who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to share with? Who do I need to follow up with? You've got new reasons to connect with people. And then I want to highlight the Instagram reset contest. If you guys did not look at that, I'll do the post again or go back and make sure that it's on our Power Hour chat. I believe it's December 16th, 17th, and 18th. Y'all, they're giving away thousands of dollars of prizes. Corporate is. So I want you to understand, if you're feeling like, I don't know where to start, I don't have somebody who's running something for me, I don't know what to do with the challenge, pour your time and energy into the mid-month corporate reset, where there's going to be huge prizes, because that's something that's already being done for you. So maybe you need to start a little chat where you've got 4 friends who are doing the reset with you. Maybe you've got a whole group of new level ones that all got their free resets in November. They are eligible. Okay. So it's reset, post, tag Plexus Worldwide. It's all going to be done on Instagram with sharing before and afters, with sharing a story with why you think you need a reset. So that's something that you can be working on now, making sure that you have your people lined up for, okay, we are going to reset together and we are going to really plug into this corporate Instagram contest because somebody's going home with $500 of Lululemon. Somebody's going home with, they've got huge, amazing prizes. So that's something that's huge and wonderful. Okay. Does anybody want to unmute and share what they feel like was something that was a key to their success in November, and hitting goals, working towards goals, something that worked well, something they're excited about? I want to hear somebody else talk except me. Go for it, Lori.
I tried something new that I did like just before the end of the month, and we called it a paint and sip. So I'm partnering with one of the local like art studios that how they do those like group painting events. And so we did one at my house that was for my team, but then we invited a few extra people along, but the owner of the studio was actually interested in like using the product. So after she came and did the paint and sip, then she signed, and her husband are going to start using the products. So, and we're going to keep that as like a monthly thing at her studio next year or so.
That's amazing. I love it. And that's thinking outside of the box. And that's one of those things where you've got busy people and you give them a reason to slow down for 2 hours and say, come paint. Let's build a community. Let's have fun. Let's take our mind off stress, and more power to you for throwing in some Plexus products and making it an event like that. I think monthly events, any kind of sip and see where you can add a theme like that, I think is brilliant. Great job. Super excited for you. Love it. Absolutely love it. Tina, there's tons of people doing resets today because it's, the first of the month and it's after Thanksgiving. I don't think you'll go wrong with that. I think doing a reset starting today, you'll be able to build all kinds of content. You know what? Take all those videos of you mixing your products, take all of the before and afters that you'll be able to use to post later. So I don't think that's bad. I think you doing a reset now, and marketing and advertising that, and then getting a whole bunch of new people the next 2 weeks to plug into the corporate one, I actually think that's brilliant. It's amazing. So great job with that. Post, build excitement, and say, guess what? I'm resetting now. You're watching me. Let's get you ordered so that you can do the next one. So I think that's perfect. Anyone else want to unmute and share? Don't be shy. Okay, I won't pick on anybody. I'm going to share you guys a story though. You guys, some of you may know my husband's an author. So he's a nurse anesthetist, but he's also an author. His first book that he wrote is an anesthesia book. So he got through anesthesia school and then got pretty much thrown to the wolves with, figuring all of that out. And he figured out what he learned in the textbooks didn't always necessarily apply to the clinical bedside. And sometimes it was figuring it out the hard way or learning from lessons of this went wrong and how can I adjust and then keep going forward. So he wrote a book called What I Was Not Necessarily Taught About Anesthesia. And it was 429 pages of his blood, sweat, and tears of him literally coming home from work with notes written on his arm in Sharpie with, this is what the textbook said. This is how it worked in a clinical situation. This is how it could have been better and what I learned from it. And there's so many practical applications to that, in my opinion, because some of us have read, Rock Your Network Marketing Business, Beach Money, all of these books that we read about network marketing. I want you to really evaluate, am I just reading and consuming and listening to all these podcasts, or am I actually going out and sharing? Am I actually going out and leading with the business? Am I actually going out and starting conversations? And if the conversations are going well, am I making a note of this is what's working? Let's keep doing it and let's share this with the team. Or if it didn't go so well, okay, let's reflect. Maybe I talked too much. Maybe I, said too many of the wrong things. Maybe I asked 7 questions and didn't wait for an answer for the first thing, right? How can we learn from the knowledge and information that we're receiving, and then how can we apply it? How can we actually get into? Okay, so that's the first thing is I want you to get into messy action today. Okay, look at your follow-ups, look at what you need to do. I want you to make the list. Who are the prospects who haven't joined yet? Who am I talking to that I've been following up with, and maybe it's not working and I need to figure out what I need to say and adjust? Who are all of those buckets of people? Because it's December, it's Monday, December 1st, it's the beginning. I want you guys to, like, the next 2 weeks is like game on for what we need to do. But the second part of that analogy is my husband is now in his third edition of that book because times change, things change. He's updated it. And I had so much belief in him that when it's self-published, when he did the third run, I said, I want you to order thousands of books. So we self-published, we ordered the inventory, and it's been sitting in our garage. Well, nobody knew it was sitting in our garage because he didn't market. He didn't share. He didn't invite new anesthesia students to buy his book and tell them that it was going to help them. So he got frustrated. He was like, well, nobody's buying my book. And I said a million times, nobody knows you have this book sitting in your garage. So he worked on a Black Friday post. He's like, I'm just going to discount it like for one day, and let people know, like, I still have this book. We still have 1,000 books sitting in our garage. And so he did this Black Friday sale, which he did not run by his wife. I do not believe in 65% off, but here's what happened. He wrote a post. He let people know what he had, why he wrote the book, who it would help, and just did his Venmo. And he's like, well, we'll ship it and mail it from home. We sold one book every 30 seconds for 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, we couldn't figure out how to shut off the Venmo link fast enough. And he sold 680 books in 2 hours. So that's why I've been kind of quiet, because then he had to hand address 680 labels. And the good wife that I am, with my boys all weekend, we labeled and stuffed books. And now we get to mail them. We get to take them to the post office and mail them. So that was a small case study on if you let people know what you have and what need it will fulfill, people will come. People will show up. People will say, I need that. And what he did was also let people know, I am giving you this huge value item at a discount. So we have products that people need. We need to create a way to share, how effectively share who we can help and why, right? It's about the story. It's not just posting the graphic that they're going to get $1 shipping. If I don't know why these products are going to change my life, $1 shipping isn't going to be what helps me take that huge step into that opportunity of saying, yes, I'm going to order my wellness combo. He said, listen, if you are struggling as you're finishing school to understand how all of this makes sense, my book will help you apply life practical things with what you've learned in the textbook and what I've learned clinically. And he had 680 people raise their hand and say, that's what I need. And so anyway, there's your story for how can you share in a way that people will understand what we have meets the needs that they have. And then the marketing piece is really just getting good at sharing stories and not just putting the flashy graphics up there. And one of the best posts that I ever did 2.5 years ago was when I guess it's been almost 3 years ago now, when we launched Reset. Jackson was a senior, my oldest, and getting ready to go to college. And I was just eating my emotions into oblivion, and put on 30 pounds that I could not hide. And so when we launched the Reset, it was very good for me. But making the post that admitted that I'm an emotional eater, that admitted that I had spent 3 months not focusing on health. I never stopped taking my products. But sharing the story of where I was, being relatable for people understanding I have been there too, and then me sharing how reading the slight edge, doing a monthly reset, refocusing and prioritizing my steps, getting good sleep. This whole post, like it went nuts. I think I signed like 13 people that month, because people understood the story and what we had to offer that could help. So, all of that to be said, I'm going to recap. Um, I want you guys to evaluate, where am I? December 2nd, where am I? Like in my life, in my business, and where do I want to be? On December 31st, the last day of 2024, what will I feel like made me proud to finish? And it doesn't have to be a rank. It does not have to be a number of enrollments. If it means you showed up every day authentically and are learning how to share your story, whatever that looks like for you, what is going to make you feel like, yes, I was successful in closing out this year like I wanted to. I want you to really think about that. And then I want you to write it down. I am always texting texting my husband with my dreams. And when I send him $5 million beach houses, he does not get excited. And so he kind of pushed back on me when I sent him something yesterday. And I was like, I'm putting a pin in my dreams. Like, we're dreaming together. Like, this isn't go buy me this tomorrow. This is me like speaking it into existence and thinking and dreaming about, what I want, what we're working towards. Like, and I told him, I said, how do you think we got to where we are? Like, we've been sharing hopes and dreams and vision boards and all the things for the last 20 years together. So I want you to really be thinking about the vision casting piece of where am I and where do I want to be? And it needs to be somewhere written down, shared, whatever your hopes and dreams are for that. Okay. And then I need you to get practical with what is my energy and intensity with how I'm showing up for myself, how I'm showing up for my team, how I'm showing up for my family, how I'm showing up in all areas. And it could be, I need to put my phone away for a whole weekend, like I did this weekend. I put my phone away and it was fine. Nobody died. Everything was great. I still got stuff done. How can you show up as your best self with energy and intensity to finish out this month? And then you need to get practical. Okay. You need to be coming home with the Sharpie on your arms with the action steps of, I figured it out. I've been talking too much, or I haven't been asking questions. I haven't given a strong call to action. I'm not sharing vulnerably. Whatever the case might be, the practical step of messy action. I want you guys to have those lists. Who have I never talked to before, ever, that I need to start a conversation with? Who have I talked to and they're like, timing's not right. Maybe timing's right now. People do crazy things at the end of the year when they're starting to think about goals in the future. Another quick conversation that I had with my two older boys. I have a 19 and a 20-year-old, and I was like, do you guys understand that most of America is using a credit card to live right now? They're using a credit card to swipe to put presents under a tree. And I love that my husband did this. He's like, this amount on your credit card at this interest rate equals, when you pay it off in 15 years, you've just paid $900 for $150 on your credit card. Like, they had never figured that out. We went through the whole, when you do a 30-year mortgage, if the interest rate is 7%, how much you've actually paid for the house that you're living in when it was listed for a certain price. And their minds were blown. I'm like, yeah, see why we're trying to teach you how to live debt free? See why we're trying to teach you how to graduate without student loans? All of those things needed the practical application of, what do I need to do now, and get into messy action so that I can figure things out. What gift we have that we can say, you know what, grab a few friends and I'm going to help you earn $500 this month so that you can put presents under your tree without having to pay for it 18 months later with an interest rate, right? So I really want you to be thinking about, who are you talking to? What are you saying? And then all of the ways that the December corporate gifts, there's something for everyone. Today is the $1 shipping. We've got the $1 VIP memberships all month. We've got the free resets all month. We still have the give 10 if they don't want to do the free reset. Like you name it, there is something for everyone. And just like my husband, there might be people who don't know what you have and what need it will meet, and that they could get it for a discount, and why this month is best month. I'm going to throw one more thing at you, and then we're going to end, and you guys are going to get to work on your own. There are still people who have never shared the referral link. And if they share their referral link and upgrade today, they will still get double credits for the cruise, and it's last month for the cruise. You have people who have not even upgraded or enrolled today who potentially could be going on a cruise to the Bahamas with you in February. I want you to think about that. So think about, that's a whole nother list. Who could I vacation with who maybe, has a big network, is well influenced, has been watching you for 8 years, and they finally say yes, and they've got people that they want to reach out to. Who are those people who would say, I want to do this? Like, I'm all in. Show me how to sign up 13 people. If you are not using the Sunday night opportunity calls, you are missing out. Last night's call was amazing. 15 minutes, 3 stories, project broadcast link to text earn so that they're going to get Silver and Six to their phones. This is work being done for you. If you plug in and use the system, it will work for you. And I apologize. Last night, I did not post the link for you guys, and I apologize for that. But Tracy Fogel was on with 2 of her gals, and Tracy just hit Sapphire. So it was super fun to have her on, knowing that she had been working, and that she hit Sapphire the end of the month and then was on doing the Sunday night call the very next day. So it works. I do not think the ship is full, getting, full yet. I have not heard any leader rumblings. So I think we're full steam ahead, rock and roll. Let's go and let's do it. And I do know a lot of people who have earned it, can't actually go. I just looked, my passport expires in March, which they say you have that 6-month window where you have to like renew it. So note to self, earn the cruise, check your passports. So I hope this is helpful. Go back and listen to Christina's call in the Ambassador Academy page. And then Michelle from corporate has the entire list. Rank rewards. If all else fails, who on your team can get back to gold, senior gold, ruby, add 3 and get the rank rewards? Like, there's literally something for everyone this month. So let's work really hard. Yes, Kim, I did hear that. I just think that when you leave the country, coming back in the country with the passport is always the best, just for my own anxiety. But yes, I have heard that birth certificates and all that work. So we have a long month. You guys know, like, as we get into like the 18th and on, everybody stops doing everything for Christmas. So full steam ahead. Let's rock and roll. Really, really, build towards the corporate reset. That's going to be right before Christmas. We'll all be feeling our best right before Christmas. And then we know, like, Christmas happens, and then it's like, where'd everybody go? But then 27th, 28th, 29th, moving on to the new year, everybody's working on goals. So imagine if you talked to 100 people in the next 2 weeks, what kind of follow-up that would look like for people saying, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm finally ready to do this with you. So ideally, Bev, we would love for you to have tons of new people that enroll today and tomorrow to, plug in for the reset. But if they did already get the reset in November, just as long as it's been, a recent reset, commission qualified, all the things. I haven't read all the fine print, but they can use the reset that they earned when they ordered in November for the challenge. Correct. But if you want to use it towards also new December enrollments, that would be amazing too. So I hope this is helpful. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Congrats on all of you for all of your November goals, and we will rock and roll, and I will see you guys next week. Thank y'all.